Hi everybody. Have you gotten so excited about pumpkin season that you felt like a kid again? And no, I'm not talking about those pumpkin spice lattes you like to get from Starbucks. I'm talking about pumpkin carving season. Today I'm going to show you how to clean out, decorate, and put some finishing touches on your pumpkins that will make them last for way longer than Halloween. Okay, first we're going to start with carving the pumpkin. Now, I personally like to get the pumpkins that are a little weirdly shaped, or maybe not the pumpkins that everybody would want to pick first. This guy has a little dent in the back. That's okay. Here, all pumpkins are created equally. First, I don't carve my pumpkins from the top. I like to carve them from the bottom. By doing this, it makes it a lot easier to put your pumpkin over your votive candle instead of having to put it inside and then lighting it. Sorry about my children here. They're very excited about pumpkins as well. So, first I'm going to start by carving the bottom of my pumpkin. Now, I like to just go straight through, just like this. That will allow my pumpkin to sit nice and flat when I put it on the ground. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your several tools that you have. I like to get the kit. We have a spoon, several different knives. They do come with markers, but I prefer to use a dry erase marker when I draw my face out, as well as a scraping tool. So we're going to start by getting all these tasty seeds out. Start with my spoon and just get after it. You want to make sure that you're really scraping the sides of your pumpkin, because that's going to make it a lot easier to carve it when that time comes. And you just scoop it right into the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning out my pumpkin, and then I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I have cleaned out my pumpkin. Now it is time to draw the face on. Now for me, I like to use, again, a expo marker. You want to make sure your pumpkin is dry, because if it's wet, the expo marker is not going to stay on. Once you've gotten your face on your pumpkin, you want to give that expo marker a little bit of time to dry, so that way when you are carving, it doesn't smudge too much. So I like to buy these books with the different designs already in them. It just makes it a little easier than having to print something, or I am terrible at freehand drawing. So I've got my pumpkin face here. Now it doesn't fit completely. Normally I would tape it on, but because it doesn't fit, I'm going to just move it around while I draw my face. So I am left-handed, so I'm going to make sure I start over here rather than here, because I would smudge. So I'm going to just go ahead and carefully, oh, this isn't. My expo marker is all dried out. Plan B. Always have a plan B. I'm going to go ahead and just start drawing my eyes. And then over to this one. Okay, now the nose. And finally, the mouth. Again, I'm going to have to move this guy around a little bit. So while I'm doing that, I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we've got our face drawn on here, and it is dry, so we're ready to carve. We have 4 different sizes of carving tools, so that way, if we get some little detail, which I have left off, you have that smaller one. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with my eyes. I'm going to try this medium one here, and you're just going to make sure that you put it through all the way Don't try to move too quickly because that's when mistakes happen. So I'm just going to take my time while I'm carving out my pumpkin. Don't worry if you don't stay directly on the lines because you will be able to clean your cover or clean off the front of your pumpkin and erase any of the marker. All right, and then I must have missed some spots there. And push through. All right, I've got my one eye. Now we're going to move on to my next. Alrighty. And just push him through. And we've got my eyes. Now, once you've started getting your different eyes, nose, mouth carved out, you can go ahead with your knife and just kind of clean out the edges. That way, once you do put your votive candle in there, that you can really see it shine through. While I finish cutting out my pumpkin, you guys can go ahead and take a little bathroom break. See you in a minute. All right, everybody, now I've got my face cut off. I'm going to give them a good little cleaning. Going to get all that marker off, any of the guts that might have can't come outside. He's got some little spots there, but that just gives him character. All right. After he's good and clean, we'll give him a drying. Now, for the most part, these are all very typical ways to carve a pumpkin. Many people carve their pumpkins the same way that I do. Here's where I tend to be a little bit different. Now, in order to keep your pumpkin kind of looking good, sometimes when you've got the candle in there, you can start to get black around the eyes or around in the mouth and nose. So I like to use good old petroleum jelly. And you can put it inside the whole entire pumpkin, but I mainly like to get it around the parts that have been cut out. This is going to keep your pumpkin from getting charred from the flame. So you just take your petroleum jelly, squeeze them out, and you're just going to go ahead and rub around the eyes, nose, and mouth. It's a little narrow. We'll get it in there. And then finally the mouth. All right, and then again, you can just give them a nice little wipe down on the outside to kind of get any of that excess Vaseline off. And my final tip that I have is I like to sprinkle cinnamon inside my pumpkin. This will give off a nice little smell while you're burning your candle in your pumpkin. So you just go ahead, give it a good shake inside your pumpkin. There you go. Now you are ready to get your votive candle out. And of course, I left my lighter somewhere else.
Okay.
All right, everybody, I've got my lighter. So you're just going to go ahead and light that candle. And lower your pumpkin over your candle. And there you go. You have a beautiful pumpkin to put out for Halloween night. Thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.